Hello everybody, this is Satish Kumar. Welcome to another lesson on Indian economy. So in this lesson we are going to learn about growth and development. So I have previously uploaded some lesson. If you haven't watched it, I'll recommend you to watch it so that having some clarity. So we'll see this lesson. So in this lesson we are going to learn about the concepts of growth and development and related concepts in economy. See, uh, as a layman, when we speak about growth, we use both the growth and development interchangeably. We don't differentiate much about it. But in economy, there are clear distinction between these two terms. In fact, the economists itself, for a long time, used growth and development interchangeably, but later they found that these two terms has a different meaning. So we will see in the economical meaning what is growth and what is development. In economic sense, the growth is, there is a clear definition, that is increase in the inflation adjusted market value of the goods and services produced by an economy over time. Okay, that is increase in the real GDP. So when we talk about growth, it means the when we are considering the GDP. Okay, see, basically in economical term, growth means GDP. Okay, the national income estimates that we saw in the last class, no, all those concepts are growth related. GDP, GNP are all different types of growth related aspects, where there will be quantifiable data that the country has grown by 5%, country has grown by 6%. Okay, so growth is basically quantifiable one. Okay, also growth is a value neutral term. It might be positive or it might be negative. When we say economy is growing by 8%, generally we mean it is positive, that is there is a 8% growth. But we can also say an economy is the economic growth of India is minus 8%. That means we are considering that economy in the negative sense. Okay, but generally when we take economic growth, we will consider the positive term. Okay, so now what is development? So development is, it involves, see, as I said earlier, the growth consider only the economic variable of an economy. That is, what is, how much of production is higher than the previous year. That is considered as growth. But in development, whole other variables are considered, like the economic well-being of the people, the quality of life of the people, the educational level of the people, the health of the people, the sanitation. So in an economy, all these things, they also, if they also grow only, we could say it is development. So when we say in an economy is growing at 10%, it only means growth. But when we say the economic, there is huge infrastructure created in the health sector, the quality of education, lot of universities are built, people are learning, the literacy level of the people have gone up, lot of enrollment ratio in the education, the quality of life of the people are good, the environmental a whole other lot of factors are there. So all these are considered in development. Okay, so the difference between growth and development is this: growth considers only the what is generally in economic variable, the monetary value or the production value of the country. But in development, whole other variables are considered. Okay, so that is what I have given here. What is the definition of economic growth? In fact, as I said earlier, the economics itself for a long time used all these words interchangeably, but only in the 1960s they clearly defined the difference between economic growth and development. Okay, so basically growth is a quantifiable one, and it is a value neutral term, right? It will be generally positive. It can be that is, when I mean growth is value neutral term, it could be both positive and negative. Okay, when we say the economy is growing at 8%, it means generally a positive growth of 8%. But there will also be case you could say that Indian economy grow last year at minus 8%. That means we are meaning in the negative sense. Okay. But generally the growth is considered as positive. Okay. So now we'll come to the point, in fact, why developmental concepts came into being. See, generally, growth does not give a clear picture about an economy or a country. Okay, see, in a country like India, no, it is more. It will give a more different picture than the picture of development. So, why there are a lot of limitations in the growth estimates? First and foremost thing, India has a large rural economy, and even today, a lot of rural economy is part of the rural economy transactions. No, they are not part of the growth estimates. A whole lot of things are left out. Okay. Then there is a large informal sector in the India, and there are like small farmers, vegetable vendors, domestic help. All of these are not also part of GDP estimates. Okay, then there is the social services, which is also ignored. Okay, so these are all ignored in the growth estimates. But more than this, these are all ignored. Because of this the growth will be less. But more than this, there are other factors which are not included, which actually will have a positive impact on growth. What are these? So for example, the growth estimates does not include the environmental cost of a country, right? See, we have learnt in the previous lesson when we are studying the national income account, where I taught you about GDP and GNP, NDP, gross domestic product, and net domestic product. What is the difference between those two? In the gross domestic product, we will deduct the depreciation and we will come to the net domestic product. That is, what are the wear and tear in the factors of production. That is what I said. See, but also remember, when a country is having a lot of industries, it is not only the industries and other factors are depreciating, the environment of the country is also going through some degradation. These costs are not covered in the growth estimates. As a result, it will not show the true picture of the development of a country. The environment may get polluted. Okay. Similarly, the country may say that in fact India is considered as the third largest economy in purchasing power parity at present. In fact, politicians used to say these things regularly. India is one of the largest country in the world like that, right? Largest growing economy. Those are meant in terms of growth estimates, that is GDP estimates. But what is the reality? The reality is the country has one of the largest amount of people in poverty in the world, right? So the poverty is not included in the gross domestic estimates, product estimates. Similarly, the education level of the people, the health condition of the country, health related aspects of the country. Okay, so when we consider all these things, and if we have grown in all these things only, we could say we have become a developed country. We cannot say we have become developed just by quoting the overall economic growth of the country, where 10% of the people may have high income, 90% of the people may still be living in the subsistence level. Okay, so while calculating growth estimates, we are considering only about GDP, but while considering development, we will be considering a whole lot of factors. That is why the growth estimates have lot of limitations. That is what I am saying here. Okay, so it will not show the true picture of whether the country progressed or developed. Okay, so that is why the critics say that the growth estimates, no, it is not adequate. They also say it is not only adequate, it distorts the reality. Okay, what they mean by that? See, in a country, the country may be spending lot of expenses on security and then related concepts. The country may not be peaceful. The country's law and order may be suffering. The country may be facing law and order issues, security related issues like terrorism, like border terrorism, like that. Lot of problems may be there. So the country may be spending lot on those areas. Because the country is spending lot on those areas, security related areas, the country's GDP may be high. But what it means is it is not a developing phase. Okay, the country is having a lot of issues. Similarly, the country may be growing for a particular period of time using methods. For example, in agriculture, the country may be engaging in commercial agriculture. As a result, the GDP might increase faster. But after a certain period of time, because of the commercialization of agriculture, which may not be sustainable, the GDP will come down. So it will not show the true picture. For example, I'll tell you one example. In the 1960s, we went for green revolution, right? We used the high yielding variety where we used the chemical fertilizers for growth. This resulted in India growing faster, India's food production growing faster. But what happened is, because we used a large amount of chemicals, the soil and the high yielding variety, the soil became not suitable for future growth. The future growth, some lands were become barren. As that is why I say it is not sustainable. Now we are going for thinking about organic farming. So the growth estimates will never growth estimates will not show the true picture of the, and it is not an adequate measure. So we need some other measure. Okay, so that is why development, economic development as a concept came into being. Development concepts came into being. Okay, for a long time people believed that just because a country country grow faster, there will be betterment to the lives of the people. But what happened is, in the 1960s they found that some countries whose economy is growing faster and their per capita income is high, but the quality of the life of the people are relatively low, okay, comparatively low. So this led to the economics gave a clear meaning for development, okay, between growth and a clear distinction between growth and development. So now it was only during this time the developmental definition became very clear in economical terms. Okay, so development indicates the quality of life in an economy. Okay, so it is seen in accordance with multiple variables, as I said earlier, the level of nutrition, healthcare facilities, education, okay, whole other variables are considered. As a result, economic development is quantitative as well as qualitative progress. In growth, we only consider about quantitative progress. From last year, we have grown 8%, that is growth. But here we consider a whole other lot process, like what is the education attainment from last year, what is the healthcare improvement from last year, what is the life expectancy for last year. These kind of things will be considered in the development. Okay, but one basic thing must be kept in mind, or should be clear: without growth, development is not possible. First growth should happen, only then development will happen. But growth alone will not yield development. Okay, the country has to clearly plan so that the growth changes into development. Okay, I'll give an example. There may be two families, one family earning 10,000 rupees, the other family may be earning 10,000 rupees. Both the families similar amount. But the A, take it as A and B. The A family may be spending all the money, in fact that money on education, healthcare, they may be investing. The other family may not be investing that much on education and health. As a result, the A family will be more developed. The B family, even though it is also growing, having 10,000 income, since it is not spending on developmental activities, they will not grow further. Okay, so that's, we have different combinations of growth and development, where there are countries with higher growth and higher development. So these countries where there are higher growth, they spend that growth amount on developmental aspects. As a result, they attain higher level of development. Then there is a second category of countries where there is higher growth but low development, because these countries they are not utilizing their growth money on the developmental aspects. As a result, they are facing low development. Then there may be country we may not have high growth, but still they may have some growth, but they may use these some amount for the developmental aspect. As a result, they may achieve higher development. Okay. Similarly, there may be countries with low development and they are not investing on development. As a result, low growth and low development. There may be four kinds of thing. Okay. So this is what we have to understand here. Then there is also the circular relationship of growth and development based on what I said earlier. Okay. As I said earlier, see, if an economy is growing and the growth amount is spent on developmental aspects rather than wasting that money or keeping that money money idle, when it is spent on developmental purpose, what happens is it it improves further the growth prospect of the economy. So the economy will grow even faster. So this may lead to more development. Okay. This is the circular relationship. Similarly, it will happen at the other vice versa also. That is, if the economy is growing faster, but the country is not spending on developmental aspects, no, what will happen is this may hamper the growth prospect of the country. As a result, in future, the country may not grow faster. As a result, they may lack resources for development, and it will become a chain, circular relationship. This is what the circular relationship between growth and development. Okay. Okay. Although the economists were able to define between growth and development, they were not able to find a right way to measure the developmental aspect of the economy. This was solved with the creation of an human development index by an economist called Mehboob ul Haq in 1990. Okay. He is the person who created the Human Development Index in 1990. Since then, the Human Development Index is being used for finding the development of different countries. Okay. So the Human Development Index, no, it has 3 elements, and all these 3 elements are allotted equal weightage in the scale of 1. Okay. And it is measured based on this, it is measured the development of the countries. What are the 3 elements? The 3 elements of standard of living, knowledge and life expectancy. These 3 are measured. Standard of living is measured in terms of GDP per capita of a country at purchasing power parity. The knowledge is measured in terms of educational attainment or level of education of the country. Here 2 variables are considered. One is educational attainment among adults, that is higher studies. Okay. Here for this 2/3 weightage is given, and there is also the basic enrollment ratio, elementary level, secondary level, okay. Here it is given 1/3 weightage. Okay. Then the third element of the Human Development Index, that is life expectancy at time of birth. Okay. How many years the child will live. Okay. Life expectancy when the child is born. Okay. So this is the Human Development Index, and this is been released by the United Nations Development Program since 1990 every year. Okay. See, the United Nations Development Program rank the countries based on the ranking that they get in the Human Development Index. Okay. Based on these 3 elements now that we just now discussed now, on those 3 elements in a scale of 1. So the point is like 0.000 to 1.000. Okay. So based on the rank they get in this scale, countries are classified into 3 categories. One is high income development countries, which get the point of 0.800 to 1.000. These are high human development countries. Then there is medium human development countries, which has the point of 0.500 to 0.799. Okay. Then we have the low human development countries, which have a point of 0.000 to 0.499. Okay. See, India at present, as the in this category, its human development value is 0.647. Okay, this put India in the medium human development category. Okay, India at present in the median human development category because it has a HDE value of 0.647, the latest in the report in the 2019. And India is ranked among the 189 countries, or India is ranked 129th, a very low rank. Okay, see, this is the difference between growth and development. When we consider growth estimates, no, we could say India is growing a third largest economy, second only to China, third only to China and USA. But in reality, when we consider the developmental estimates, no, India is 129th, even lower than some of the smaller countries, some of our neighboring countries whose GDP is lesser than us. Okay, so that is why growth alone will not show the real picture of a country. Okay, as per the Human Developmental Index, Norway, Switzerland, Germany, Ireland, Hong Kong, these are the countries leading the ranking. And some of the South African countries like Niger, Central African Republic, Chad, South Sudan, Burundi have the lowest score. Okay, India is in the medium human development index. There are a lot to be achieved India in this front. Okay, last year India was in 130th rank. This year we slightly improved to 129th. So we could only be proud if we grow faster in this area. Okay. So there is a need for a better index. See, although Human Development Index is considered as a better index than growth estimates, even development index itself is not enough. Human Development Index itself, there need to be other index. So some experts say that, see, a country might have grown faster. Okay, similarly a country might have good developmental prospects, like there may be high education, high literacy, high healthcare facilities. What still the country is facing other issues like people are not happy, people are facing stress, mental issues, their quality of life is not good, there is lot of crime in their country, there is lot of other issues, their culture degradation. Okay, the ethical value of the country is going down. These kind of things are also should be considered. The happiness is far more important than things, so these are also should be considered. This is what some economists felt. So they said that there need to be a better index than Human Development Index. So as a result, a whole lot of other indexes are developed by some economists and some philosophers. So these are also should be known to us. In fact, some we need to know all those things also. Okay, in fact I will give all those things in my part 2 of this lesson. With this we end this lesson. In the next lesson we will learn about different other indexes, like what are the happiness indexes and other indexes. Okay, with this we end this lesson. Bye.